Hey everybody, this is Sam Serious. So another episode of Factorio. So I've been doing a whole lot in the past episode. As all of you may have tracked, I've got a nuclear reactor set up, so I got 2.1 gigawatts available to work with off this reactor. I have this nicely throttle controlled to the point where it's guaranteed to use every inch of steam at the minimal amount of fuel used. I got all the turbines there. Anyhow, meantime, I've been upgrading everything to all the productivity modules to modules 2, so that way it maximizes more efficiency for everything involved in making the rockets. Definitely worth an investment. I've also started dipping into quality too as well. So what I've been doing here is that I've been getting quality modules going here to where it'll produce quality components to a certain extent. All the other components that I'm making to be able to make quality components at a constant go is have all the regular components being redirected to areas where factories need to get parts at. Excuse me, struggled with words there. That's how I'm able to make effective use of quality here, while not having to waste a lot of materials. While I'm having the excessive materials I don't want being requested back into the factory. So because of that, I was able to make myself a rare tank. I only wanted a rare tank because of the fact that it has more HP, slight range benefits with the weapons, and a bigger equipment grid. I'm having way more shields equipped with this, as well as including some exoskeletons into this tank. And needless to say, this tank with nuclear fuel on top of that 90% speed bonus, it's fast. I'm gonna have to get used to that, because normally I'm good at weaving through at high speeds like that. So as additional worthy note, the whole station for space science has been completed. It's pretty much operating at peak now, sending down any iron that is requested, as well as science. But I'm still trying to balance out the supply for iron, though. Another thing, too, as well, is that I've also invested some time to create the iron trawler that I forecasted previously. So you got the central logistics hubs, as well as the collection head. All of these will be going into a little belt cache that loops around until there's enough space for each respective crushers to crush things down. So, the whole idea is just to be constantly going back and forth of Vulcanus to generate a whole lot of iron. Normally, this would be enough to nearly fill up this cargo bay. However, it's been passively collecting a fair amount of iron. But yeah, once this makes its full trip back and forth, it will then be focused on depositing all the iron that it has down to Novice. Of course, that would be an action according to the planet's demand for iron. I think I already got Vulcanus researched. Yes, I did. Cool. In that case, I will go ahead and, well, before I do, I've also been expanding more towards north too as well, claimed another copper field. I've been making use of electric furnaces now that I got a nuclear power system. I got the power system to keep up with these, and I have having these maxed out with efficiency and productivity. I'm not going to bother putting these with productivity 2 yet. It'll be in a distant future, though, when I'm able to produce productivity 2 a lot more quickly without eating at throughput. But yeah, I'm in a slow process of claiming this area, though, so that way I can expand how far pollution can expand without triggering biter attacks. Do have to be more attentive to the biters now, though, considering the fact that they are they're expanding more rapidly now. It's like as soon as it hits 30 minutes away, I'm already dealing with laser turrets being sieged by worms. So I got laser damage 10, laser weapon damage 10, as well as weapon damage 10 to it as well. I've been adding in chests here to try to encourage the logistics system to route the space iron into directly to sources. I'm having a throughput problem because of that. Like, I'm literally stocked up with too much iron right now. Passive provider chest I don't think is ideal. And this copper batch just ran out. So has this coal batch. Alright. I can just cannibalize all these now too as well. Now, in the distant future, and this is probably after this is probably a task done sometime after I get cliff explosives, is I also have blueprints laid out for a big logistics hub. Eventually, I'm going to be tearing this base down and in favor of creating the big logistics hub here. And then I'll incorporate a base within the logistics hub that's being built. The logistics hub will be having the space stations and the cargo holds directly in the middle, with train networks and train stops all over it. The idea is I'm getting ready to transfer into an idea of a base to where I'm going to be having small stations spread throughout the claimed territory, be dedicated to producing a type of science pack. Once those science packs gets made, I will then have them loaded up into a train and shipped to a central research hub. All the space sciences will be routed to the research hub too as well. But I'm not going to get too crazy about that yet. But now, back to the juicy business here. So, I'm going to do a few test drives back and forth, fine-tuning the circuits here. These circuits are acting on a timer system, as well as reading what's going on with the accumulators. I have the accumulator system to where, should the accumulator charge dip below 20%, it'll stop throttling fuel, putting all the fuel and oxidizers into the thrusters, so this way the ship can throw down to give the power grid a chance to catch back up to the laser turrets. I'm also trying to find a sweet spot for this speed based on what my laser turrets can do to it right now, without tanking out the power grid. Now, I do have laser weapon damage 10, so my laser weapons are at, where is it? 510% damage. So these lasers should be able to handle that relatively easily without draining too much on the power demand. As it gets closer to Vulcanus, the solar panels are going to scale up with power majorly, aiding the lasers even more without dipping out on the accumulators. However, the dangerous part is having this ship go back to Novice, where it'll be dealing with the same amount of asteroids, but with less power available at the end of the trip, reliant on the storage on the accumulators. So I'm gonna be sit back here fine-tuning this reactor here. I mostly will be adjusting this valley here that's running off this clock. I have this clock running from 0 to 120. So basically, it'll turn on as long as the arrow value here is above 85. Should I start seeing that things are going out of hand with asteroids and stuff? Then I'd be inclined to stop things manually too as well. Time to get going to Vulcanus. Thrusters are doing their stuff. And because of the amount of asteroids I'll be encountering, this is going to get filled up very fast. Oh, that was quick. Okay, I guess I don't have to worry too much. I want to get the power statistics up on this here. Okay, so far so good. And we're about halfway through to Vulcanus, and these things have... Okay, they're starting to get throttled out. Okay, this might be... No, it's handling. Okay, it's handling it strongly. This asteroids has like a 90% resistance against laser. That's why I was so focused on boosting laser weapon damage. Okay, so this is pretty stocked up. Furnaces are doing their thing. Okay, so it starts to trip back to novice a bit. When it gets right around 10,000 meter mark, that's when things starts getting a little dangerous. So I run risk of having no power to fight off the asteroids. Okay, so that's a very successful trip. I'm guessing got the laser strong enough to be able to handle a trip back and forth to Novice. And these furnaces will be doing their thing for a while. Yeah, this is gonna be cool. That also means I'm able to go to the Vulcanus too as well, reliably. Now, before I go to Vulcanus, I'd like to make some final preparations. I still got some unfinished business here in Novice that I'll be doing most of them off camera with. One of them being securing the defenses with laser turrets all over the place so that way I don't have to worry about fighters and stuff going in. My original tank, I'm going to turn that tank into my utility tank. Where is it? I've already upgraded. I've already replaced a lot of its components with personal roboports. You can go and replace the stock roboports with that. So what was I going to do? Oh yeah, up here. Okay, one of these got made. Give a slight survivability. Yeah, I'm going to want to, holy snap, that's a lot of iron. I mean, it's 21k plates. The logistics hub will likely be right here, crowding this other side of the base out, or towards the north a little bit, so that way I'm not intersecting a whole lot of rails here. I'm going to have to figure out how to fit this in with the rail network. That'll be a lot easier to decide once I get cliff explosives, destroy the cliff, so that way I can rearrange the rails to the way that I need them to. Plus, too, I can have certain sides of the logistics space be routed to certain cardinal directions. But in the meantime, I'm just focusing on maximizing the efficiency of the factory. While I'm at it, though, I will want to start stocking up in landfill. Probably going to need tons of it since I'm going to be possibly occupying a whole lot of lakes. So, I've done some additional work to the base here. So, most of the base, a good chunk of the base is operating at productivity module 2. I've got I started construction on a steel space station so that way I'm passively generating steel from above. Throughput though is as slow and still under construction. I'll let that build itself. That way I have a passive income on steel. Just coming down. In the meantime, I've managed to establish laser defenses all over the outer walls of the perimeter of the territory. I expanded a little bit towards north a bit, as well as towards the northeast. That should help. Well, except for what goes on here. That should help secure the base. I'll just have to keep a close eye on what's going on here. At least I've got remote controlled tanks here, so even though I can't exactly go beyond the radar view with these, I can at least, well, looking at this more and more, I could probably just plop down a few radar stations strategically as needed and then siege by the bases. I'll just have the rare tank that I suited for combat do the thing, and then I'll just have the utility tank that I've had roboports in establish defensive lines. Push this clay missile area so that way I don't have to worry about oncoming biter attacks. Like, the defenses look like they're holding up well. Except for this one here. By the way, I got means of dealing with things, so... I got the iron trawler, so I can use this to get to Vulcanus. Though before I do, though, because of the fact I got this, I'm going to ditch all the iron plates out. I need to clear out the inventory on this before I start using this for, like, cargo work. Yeah, the base got plenty of space for iron, so I can do this. Just doing that there. Unfortunately, I have to do this with a completely empty inventory, including slots here, due to the limitations of the rocket not allowing me to go onto a space platform, but at least will allow me to make do with getting onto Vulcanus. Oh, I was wondering how this would work. Cool. Allows me to board the trawler. I've actually got to the point where, with how I balance everything out in the base now, mostly because of productivity with just slowing the base down, I'm actually having a problem where I'm actually producing too much iron plates and stuff for this. That's what happens to the rocket. Do I have to be in here, or can I walk freely? So I can't leave the place. What's going on here? Well, inevitably biter expansions will do their thing. I will have to send tons of cargo into the trawler here in order to get things started. Go 100. Definitely need... I'm going to call in 1,000 processing units. I'm going to need those. I know I will need 1,000 concrete. Ready? That should be everything pretty much packed up now. That should be enough to get things going and to make myself a rocket silo to return back up to from Vulcanus. Just in case if I have to make a trip early back. Anyhow, without further ado, time to proceed to Vulcanus. Structures are going. Lasers received another upgrade, so I'm confident it'll make it. Halfway through. Okay. ahead and create a that's them near a batch of sulfur. It's a healthy batch of calcite. Lots of cliffs though. What happened to the iron trawler? There's tungsten there. I need a big mining drill for that. Not to mention it's in hostile territory. So I'll get to say nay on that one for now. Cool. It's easy to miss. 593K, 693K. This is a very healthy yield of sulfuric acid. I want to try to get this tungsten ore, but not with that being in that demolitor's territory. Not to mention I got a lot of cliffs to deal with. Have to send some stuff down for the trawler. They can go back to Novice for its next shipment. See here. So obviously gather some calcite. What does it take for equip explosives though? I'm gonna have to get some tungsten, which means I'm gonna have to deal with the demolisher soon. Rocks around me, but I just have to make do. All I'll go ahead and do then is get power going. It's the basics. Noticing with the tech trade that's pointing towards getting calcite. So I figured, why not get this whole calcite vein harvested? Okay, so that's one research done. have an estimate it's about be 100. Which means I for sure will need red belt throughput. Okay, now next order of business. Set up some solar panel production here. Luckily I got this served, which will be able to supply 4 megawatts worth of power, thanks to Vulcanus supplying way more power versus Novice. Guessing that fire retreat damaged the bots. Good to know. Wrong substation for what to be planning this with. That means I have to redesign a blueprint here. Let's see here, 240. That there is about A little less than 1 megawatt. Considering the fact that these solar panels are providing a lot more power in general, I can get away with this kind of setup. Alright, looks like I might need a little bit more accumulators than I thought. Out of the way, 60 megawatts is a very healthy supply in power. I just gotta set up the calcite stuff. Let's see here. 125 at what productivity bonus? 100%. So I basically got 1,400 worth of calcite here to 14 million, 1.4 million worth of calcite to harvest here. So 125 divided by 30. That there's 4 red belts. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's one combined spot.
Search the thicker parts of this hero. Distribute evenly amongst the outer edges. We're having it converge into here. Figure I have to route all this here towards here with all these cliffs in the way. Might have to make use of a few blue belts, possibly. The most optimal route. My best bet for tungsten right now, if I haven't found a demolisher, is these rocks. almost there. I got calcite rooted to this side. Just focus towards the sulfuric acid. I wish I brought more pipes than this. Oh well. Yes. No, it's up in the research tree here. Okay, so I need a assembly machine to make tungsten carbide. Okay, so it crafts pretty quickly. Okay, I'm very limited on tungsten though, so I don't want to learn too much of that without productivity. As much as I like to continue along with this, I'm going to have to call an episode here. But yeah, we finally reached Vulcanus. Novice hat pretty much at a stable state right now. Laser defenses, for the most part, just a matter of having to keep against the biters as needed. Actually, I had to expand off of this using the utility tank and the combat tank. The combat tank having so much shielding, I'm actually considering replacing some of its shields with actual laser turrets. Either way, this episode has been very productive. Meantime, with Vulcanus, though, I'll have to progress towards the tungsten line. $50 tungsten carbide, 30 electronic circuits, which I forgot to send over. 50 steel plates, 20 lubricant, refined concrete. Good thing I made infrastructure for that. I do believe with the calcite, I am able to yeah, it's coal liquefaction. I'll need coal, sulfuric acid, and calcite for that. Unfortunately, that means I need an oil refinery, and I don't have that over me right now. I can probably make one of those, or well, I don't have infinite copper and iron yet. I'm probably going to have to send in another supply over anyways. Besides, I'm starting to run low of transport belts anyways for the calcite. You know, y'all, this is a wrap for this episode. Wish you all well. Take care.